This comes down to sort of the fundamental thing that I think about when I'm building or helping people build the digital twins. So I'm a cartographer by trade. I do photogrammetry to build maps. That's why I got into photogrammetry. And I do it interior, and unusually most photogrammetry is outside from satellites, drones. I do inside stuff. But the main thing, the art of cartography is leaving things out. If you were to map everything, it's just noise and confusion. But the art of cartography is, if I'm trying to navigate by a car, I want to see where the roads are and how wide the roads are. I'm not really interested in anything else I might be passing. But I might be interested in, if I'm interested in walking, I'm interested in the woods and the mountains and things like that. So you deliver information that is relevant to the user. And with the digital twin, that's quite hard. I see lots of people on LinkedIn and social media talking about interoperability of data silos and merging this and merging that. And you just go, solve one problem first before you say you can bring everything in. Because I tell you what, I don't know of one person who's actually using it to its full extent. And I'll give you one example. This is one of my favorite examples. I was asked to do a 360 tour, a virtual digital twin. Let's call it 2.5D for the sake of, okay. And it was of a paper mill. And the reason the marketing department wanted that is they couldn't do a tour of the paper mill because it's just too noisy. You couldn't hear yourself. So we did that and they loved it, thought it was fabulous. And then the maintenance guy was looking over my shoulder. I was always saying, he said, could you've put a tag on that. Could you put a tag on that for all my oil and grease lubrication points? I went, well, yeah. He said, because we need it like now. The previous year, this paper mill had forgotten to put grease in a key gearbox. The drive shaft had broken. The paper machine's still wearing. The carbon shafts flying around all over the place. It did £1.5 million worth of damage, but critically, one of the things it did is it damaged one of the key rolls, which is bespoke to that process. It took them 3 months to fix that. That's 3 months of lost production because they didn't put grease in it. So what we did is we used the same thing. We just tagged all the grease nipples for them and then gave them a little color code to say this grease goes in here, this grease goes in there. And we did a little form that emailed to the stores to say you're running out of this grease. Now, this served a number of purposes. First off, it was insurance, so it didn't happen again. Third off, it was a learning manual because they used young engineers were given this job for the first month so they could find their way around the machine. And they've never had that again. But the interesting thing about it is now this big paper machine company or paper production, we did this a mill in the UK, and now they want to spread it out amongst the whole global network just for managing grease and oil. That's it. They don't want it for anything else. They just want that. And that is solving one problem. And the cost of that is, it's insurance, it doubles as a learning aid. But now they've had it mapped, then they can apply other layers onto it. For risk assessment or training videos or all sorts of things. Because once you've got the base layer, like an atlas, you can put all sorts of different layers on it.
But this really comes back to our discussion about 3D model being like a hub for all the other information. Because I totally agree with you that if you want to get into door, you should be offering just one simple solution, like the low-hanging fruit, like the easiest way how to show them ROI and something that they could leverage like right away.